Successful people do not think about dopamine because they always have it. Because great habits leads to having dopamine. Success leads to dopamine. So routines, process, systems, and plays that they build in their life create so much dopamine that they never think that dopamine is required to succeed. And this lesson is not for people who are successful. This lesson for people who are looking to become successful, looking for some key to success. Today is 1138. I'm sharing lessons I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Imagine that you want to enter a beautiful castle. You see castle, there's a beautiful castle. Inside of the castle, you know that there's everything what you want. Material possessions, feelings, emotions, bliss, joy, fulfillment. Everything what you want is in that castle. But you come closer and you see there's a massive doors. There's no other way to get in only if you have a key to that castle, key to that gate. I think that a lot of times is the same thing with our success in life. We're able to have everything what we want when we have a key to success. And what could be that key to success? And today I want to speak about one key to a success because sometimes we need to go through multiple doors. But for one door for sure is dopamine. Dopamine is the key to success. And why is that? I think that a lot of times when you say dopamine, we start to feel about bad things. Because I see that dopamine has a bad reputation at the moment. And that's why it's so underrated. You say dopamine, people start to think about addictions, social media, movies, maybe Netflix, maybe drinking, everything. Everything is about addiction. I think that dopamine is a great thing. But the key is that dopamine is a right thing, but people are looking for it in the wrong place. Dopamine is the right thing, but people are looking for it in the wrong place. And that's why it's such a sad, unfortunate thing, because we can use dopamine for success and for failure. It could be key to success and key to failure. Both are true. Because dopamine is like gasoline for a car. Now, when you have a gasoline in your car, you don't think about gasoline. You're just driving to your final destination. Exactly as dopamine. When your car is full of dopamine, when you are full of dopamine, you just think about your vision. You don't think about dopamine. And that's exactly is like why people who are very successful don't speak about dopamine. Because they have enough. So it's an example like when you are underwater and you are for 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe even a minute. It depends how long you're able to stay underwater. But at some point, you will start thinking about air because you're not able to stay any longer underwater. So the only thought at that moment is how to get out of the water and get some air. Exactly the same with dopamine. When you do not have dopamine for a long time, the only thing that you can think about is how to get dopamine. And that's why people go to addictions. Because the only thing that you can think about is dopamine. Now, when you are wealthy and you have a lot of money, you don't need to think about money. Unless you're working a business at that moment when you're working. But outside of working, outside of business, wealthy people don't think about money. While people who are working 9-to-5 jobs and barely making an end, they are broke, they constantly think about money. At work, at home, it's a massive financial stress because they constantly think about the money. Exactly as with dopamine. Successful people do not think about dopamine because they always have it. Because great habits leads to having dopamine. Success leads to dopamine. So routines, process, systems, and plays that they build in their life create so much dopamine that they never think that dopamine is required to succeed. And this lesson is not for people who are successful. This lesson for people who are looking to become successful, looking for some key to success. Because dopamine is one of the keys to success. If we're able to manage, understand, okay, where to look for dopamine. Because when we actually start looking for the right thing in the right place, and we build that dopamine, I truly believe that we will open massive doors because small key could open massive, massive big doors. And that's why we need to really look at, okay, where do I need to look for dopamine? And today we'll share three things that we're able to look for dopamine that could be a healthy addiction of dopamine. So number one is personal development and inner fulfillment. That's where we're looking for dopamine. And the first thing is purposeful goal setting. And the purposeful is essential, as very, very essential. It is scientifically proved that goal setting gives you dopamine. That's why a lot of times when you make a goal, you make decision to, I'll pursue this goal, you feel much better because you get a dopamine hit. And now you want to create goal after goal after goal because you want to go after that dopamine hit. But when you have a purposeful goal, what purposeful goal means is that you have that consistent dopamine hitting you all the time. Because every single day when you think and reflect on your goal, you get dopamine because it's meaningful for you. So purposeful goal setting is essential for really consistent dopamine. Second thing that when you think about really personal development is that learning and personal growth. And I think that it might be that everyone has a different hit from learning, and it depends what you are passionate about. When you learn something new about the thing that you're passionate about, it's impossible not to get dopamine hit because you got better in something that you love. So that means that we need to understand what do you love in the first place, what you're passionate about, what you enjoy, what makes you joy, what makes you laugh, what makes you cry, like all those things. That means you need to understand yourself, because when you understand yourself, you're able to invest your time in learning, in that personal development and growth that brings so much dopamine. For me, when I learn something about personal growth or leadership, sales, influence, persuasion, it's just crazy how much dopamine I get. I have so much more energy to pursue even more learning. And that means at that moment, for me, it's very hard to stop because I want to get in more and more and more and more. Number three, in that personal development is that creative pursuits and self-expression. That means that we need to understand that every single person wants to express themselves. They want it or not. Now, it might be that you don't feel that you want to express yourself right now because you didn't express yourself for a long, long time and you have no idea what that expression of yourself actually means. But every single person wants to express themselves. And sometimes we want attention. And we start to do things that attract attention, even though those things, you don't like those things. But you do that because you get attention. I think that a lot of times that attention gives dopamine as well. And yet we get addicted to attention from the wrong places. So that means that we always need to see, okay, what are creative pursuits that are healthy and what are the healthy self-expression? Because to be honest, a lot of times self-expression, if you seek attention, could not give a dopamine. But when you become very passionate, when you become very good at what you love, people will start to recognize you. So that means sometimes is knowing that this is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly my meaning. This is exactly my goal. It will give consistent dopamine to pursue self-expression long enough until you get noticed. And sometimes the best notice could be just you yourself. Notice your progress. Notice you're moving forward. Notice your change. Notice your transformation. And that noticing of your transformation could be in the progress, could be a key to develop more dopamine. And I guess at the same time, we always need to practice gratitude and positive affirmations or reappraisal, understanding that the more we're grateful, the more dopamine we're able to really have. The more grateful, the more dopamine we're able to have. It's like we have a casket of a bag, and in that bag, we're able to have some certain amount of apples or eggs or anything. So that means when you are grateful, you expand your bag. So it means rather than having 10, maybe you have 20, 30. So that means that the more grateful you are, the more dopamine you're able to create. I truly believe that. Gratefulness is one of the things that what you appreciate. If you appreciate your energy, you will have more of it. If you appreciate health, you will be able to take care of it. You will be able to nurture it. So everything, I truly believe that gratitude is the key. Again, one more key to success. And acts of kindness and altruism. I think that one of the best ways to really build dopamine is sometimes going out and really helping someone else. So helping someone else because you become successful immediately. One truth about life is that every single person is able to serve. I don't know who said that, but I truly believe that every single person is able to serve someone. And everyone could be successful in that. Because when you serve, you are successful immediately. And that success leads to dopamine. So the first step where we're supposed to seek for dopamine is personal development and fulfillment. Okay, let's look into the second thing. And second thing is as important, maybe even more important. Connection and purposeful relationships. That means when sometimes we seek dopamine in games, in online games, and we have a build community that is built that online, and that has maybe some place. But I think that we need to understand that we have strong relationships in a close circle is much more important. Because if you are playing games and develop connections with strangers, when your family connections are not deep in a surface level, maybe your time allocation is not correct. Because I truly believe that dopamine created from strong relations in your family, in your close friendships, in your close community will bring much more dopamine than any kind of stranger could bring. Those strangers could lead to friendships, and those friendships could lead to really deep connections. But if you're not able to really build deep connection with your current friends, with your current family, how are you supposed to expect that you'll be able to build deep connection with some kind of stranger? Now, I understand there are some circumstances that family could be toxic, friends could be toxic, but I don't speak about it. But say that in general, when your family is great people, when your friends are great people, and you're not nurturing that relationship, I think that we are keeping and leaving the dopamine on the table, leaving the money on the table, because dopamine is a money in the long run. Mindful consumption of technology. So that's this again. Technology could be used for the good things and the bad things. Technology is always a tool. Money is a tool as well. Money could be used for good things or the bad things. Exactly technology. So that means that how do you use technology? Because if you actually use it in the right way, you potentially could have just a little bit of dopamine to really do the right things. And I think that acts of kindness and altruism works hand in hand with personal development, your inner fulfillment because you want to fulfill, but at the same time in community, in friendships, because you develop when you develop yourself in a kind person, generous person, you're able to give your time, energy, money to your people around you. You're able to build really strong relations because you not just think about yourself, but about others, and that creates a lot of dopamine. And the last third thing that I want to mention about dopamine, we are supposed to look at what is one of the healthiest way to look for dopamine, and I think sometimes you're supposed to start from that third step alone, is balanced physical and mental wellness. Balanced physical and mental wellness. One of the biggest resources and most important resource in life is energy. If you don't have energy, it doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter how much time you have, nothing matters at that moment. So when you're able to take care of your physical body, and of course, at that moment, you have more energy to do the things that could elevate your dopamine. And of course, physical activity and exercise is something that is able to really reprogram what you think about dopamine. Because when we really go to social media, when we really see those videos one after one another, we have those small hits. But when you really go to gym and you start to reprogram you and start to see dopamine in growing your muscle, having the pain, having consistency, you reprogram your mind. So that means that physicality sometimes is one of the best ways to retrain back into normal way of seeing dopamine. And of course, at the same time, mindfulness and meditation. And I think that one of the best parts about being mindful and meditation and being able to be present is understanding what is my default calmness being, default present emotion. Because when you have that present emotion, then it is like, okay, I want to go right now in my present emotion. Because sometimes we go in all the places, but when you understand your balanced current present emotion and how to get back to it, I think that's the key, because you're able to go in the state that really puts you in a resourceful state. And of course, we still need to look at a healthy diet, nutrition, because if you don't eat well, of course, destroys your ability to have energy. And if you don't have energy, it's very, very hard to really build dopamine with activities that you do. And the last one, of course, mindful use of technology. All technology is everywhere, show up everywhere. Because if you use so much time on technology, that means that you don't have enough time to do the right things. Reading a book, going to nature, going exercising, connecting with people. I think that is, again, with dopamine and with health, is always like that we always supposed to look into, okay, what kind of healthy meal I need to eat right now. And a healthy meal is going to nature, going to meet your friend. So when you are really taking care of your dopamine in a healthy way, at that moment you're able to play a game. And that's all fine. I don't play games, but I think that it's okay. Exactly the same with like desserts. If you start from dessert, that's not okay because you will not eat the healthy food. But if you start from a healthy thing, reading a book, connecting with your friend, nurturing relationships, going to nature, exercising, and when you do all the things that really elevates you, at that moment you're able to do other things that really potentially gives that dopamine as well. That's not good. That's not bad. But the first thing, we need to get dopamine from the right places, because as I said at the beginning, when we lack dopamine, we do whatever it takes to get it. And a lot of times it leads to wrong places. So when we take care of dopamine, because dopamine is the key to success, because it improves our focus, improves our productivity, improves our motivation, improves our discipline. Everything is improved because of dopamine. So I hope that you will start looking how you can develop dopamine, but the most important part in a healthy way. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.